What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video at those 10s and 20 views. We're almost done with the grading of every team's draft. We're on the NFC East. We got two more left after this, the South and the West. So after, maybe not next week. I think next week. No, after next week, going into June. No football content until at least August, so I'll have to come up with actual video ideas. But enough of the chit chat, and let's get over here. You know the drill by now. I pull up the team's draft. I give my opinion, which realistically doesn't matter until like 2-3 years down the line. You really have no idea. So, what we got here? We got the Dallas Cowboys, who are inspiring me to do another complete video, which is if comparison trash and other big three sports in America, baseball, basketball, and hockey, what NFL teams would be represented by each team. Dallas Cowboys obviously are the Toronto Maple Leafs. But enough of that. They did just trade for George Pickens, the receiver from Pittsburgh. So they traded a third, but that's after, so that will not be part of this grade. Sorry, it's just not. Alright, starting off, they needed, let's see, wide receiver, running back, corner, linebacker, D lineman. Starting off with a guard. Not a need, but you'll never hear me bitch about picking a offensive lineman. Big guy. Driving the edge from Boston College. That's a great pick. I think he was a first round grade. He just haven't fell. Corner from East Carolina. Running back from Texas. So doesn't have to go that far. Linebacker from Florida. Offensive tackle from Oregon. Defensive tackle from UCLA. Running back from Clemson. And a wide receiver. So, of this pick, they did not address... No, they addressed pretty much everything. I'm actually going to give the Dallas Cowboys an A. Yes, it's going to be shocking, but it's like, you just lost two offensive linemen to retirement. You went out there and got a new offensive lineman. Cool. We're not a defensive tackle, but still, it's a offensive lineman. You grabbed your second pick of Donovan. I'm not going to pronounce the last name, from Boston College. The dude was graded as a first round grade. Unfortunately, some people just not really falls to the first round. Upgraded a corner with a third. Jordan Blue was supposed to be just as good, if not better, than Brooks, who Carolina took last year, but unfortunately, injury. So it's a running back. They needed running backs. Linebacker from Florida. I don't know much about him, but hey, you need a linebacker. Offensive tackle. There's one of the two replacements for the guys who are retired. Defensive tackle. A second running back, just in case Blue's not good. And another defensive tackle. So it's like they are building from the trenches. Yes, they drafted a corner, but you kind of always need to draft a corner. But it's like, this is a solid draft. That's why I'm giving them an A. They actually did a good job on that one, Cowboys. Will it pan out? Will Jerry Jones not seem like an idiot? Well, only time will tell. But as of right now, this is a solid A draft. Moving on to the New York Football Giants. They needed a quarterback, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker, and wide receiver. Let's see. Yeah. So the Giants, with the third overall pick, Abdul Carter. Wow, another not big thing. Abdul Carter. Solid pick. Best player in the draft. Jackson Dart, quarterback. They traded back in for get Jackson Dart, quarterback out of Mississippi. Defensive tackle from Toledo. Cam Skabu from Arizona State. An offensive tackle from Purdue. Tight end from Nebraska. And a corner from Oklahoma State. I'm going to say something that might be the first time I'm going to say this. This is an S draft. First one, First team to get the S rated. Perfectly done, Giants. Congratulations. I know I have coworkers that are saying this is not a good draft because you did not draft an offensive lineman at the number 3 pick. I think they're just Eagles fans. They're just selfish. So let's just look why this is an S class. You drafted the best defensive tackle, best player. That's it. Best player in the draft, Abdul Carter. To go on the other side of Brian Burns. That is a nasty 1-2 punch, and Burns signed like a long-term deal. So you'll have these two guys together for years. Moving down to the quarterback, they picked Jackson Dart. I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, why did they not pick Shador?" One, no media circus with this pick. Like Jackson Dart here, 6'2", 239 pounds. It's like he broke, I want to say, almost all of Eli Manning's records. So it's like, and the best part about it is he can sit for a year behind Russell Wilson. Just let Russell Wilson get destroyed. Bring him in around week like 8-ish and let him take over is such a great thing. And you got that 5th-year option. Big arm. Did everything that Eli did at Old Miss. Took over. Next pick, they drafted a defensive tackle to go along with the 2 edge rushers is great. And then I think they got a massive steal in the 4th in Cam Scadaboo. Like, the dude's a hard-nosed runner. If he can stay healthy, that's a big if. I think he has everything needed to be a like physical bruising back. Not saying he's going to be Saquon Barkley. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the kind of style he runs like. Straight ahead, physical, can make a quick juke if he needs to. You gotta remember, he was running at Arizona State. Not the best line there. Not saying he will be Barkley, but that's the kind of back I would compare him to. Not like Derrick Henry bulk size, but he still runs heavy. Like Chuba Hubbard. He could be a Chuba Hubbard is an actual fair comparison. Offensive tackle, your line sucked. You need an offensive liner. A tight end, okay. If I think this guy is massive, by the way. And then a corner. You always need corners in that NFC East. Let's see. This guy is 6'5", 243. And there's, let's see. But yeah, so seems like a very. That's why I said this is an S draft in my opinion, and it is strange. Like I said, it's not. It's sometimes it's not a lot of picks. It's what you do with them. Next up is, I hate to say this, but the defending Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Dicks. They need a safety, D-line, corner, edge, offensive line. So, realistically, just looking at a lot of things, I don't think the Eagles truly needed a ton of stuff, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Depth at O-line's always great. Maybe a tight end. I'm not sure they're all loving Dallas Goedert or whatnot. Maybe another receiver. But if they can keep building that defense, like just replacement, they could be really good for a while. I hate saying that because I hate all teams Philadelphia and I live in their market. That being said, they got Jaheed Campbell, who I want to say is a Jersey boy. I don't know where that is in Jersey. Let's go to a map. Oh, yeah. Yep. I know you guys. He is from here. He's from here. That's Philly. A lot of people don't realize the Philadelphia market more or less looks like this. Not actual PA. So you draft a kid who grew up in the shadow of Philadelphia, probably an Eagles fan, is a nasty pick for the Eagles. They got a safety from Texas, defensive tackle from Nebraska, corner from University of Central Florida, linebacker from Georgia, center from Boston College, quarterback from Syracuse, offensive tackle, defensive edge. I am giving the Eagles an A. Yes, I'm saying this is a very good draft. Not as good as the Giants, though. Not as good as Giants. I'll explain why. I love the first pick. That was the Eagles' biggest issue. If you can run right down the middle, you're going to get past them. Adding a safety boosts that young secondary. Defensive tackle, great. Corner, I don't know enough about this kid. You got another linebacker. That's kind of the thing. The center, actually like to pick the quarterback pick. This one doesn't make sense. I know it's the 6th round, but there is a couple of edge guys that are still on the board. There's a couple of receivers that are still on the board. Not going to complain about the two big men back to back here. But it's like, and the edge here. So it's like, it's a very good draft. I definitely think there were potential picks in, this section here that could have been a lot better. But it's an A. It is a very good draft. God, this is actually, I hate the fact the East has been a good draft class. Moving on to Washington. Offensive lineman should have been the number one concern. God, please learn from RG3. Instant. Edge, corner, wide receiver, safety, O lineman. Yeah, I definitely think wide receiver and wide receiver, O-line, wide receiver should have been their first two big concerns. Let's see, moving on to, wow, not that many picks. That's their whole draft class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks. First pick, offensive tackle. Solid pick from Oregon. Corner from Mississippi, wide receiver from Virginia Tech, linebacker from UCLA, and Arizona gets a running back. I'm gonna give this a B, to be all honest. This is similar to the Vikings. It's not a lot of picks. I definitely think the offensive lineman was a great first pick. Corner was a decent pick. The wide receiver, it's the linebacker and running back were the two picks I kind of am like, because like they're not listed as a need. Like if you'd have grabbed another wide receiver, a safety, especially a safety who played at Navy, here would have been a really cool moment. All like Navy playing for Washington, and then a running back when it's like, I'm not sure if they need a running back. I kind of would have wished they would have spent another pick on our offensive lineman. But it's not like terrible. It's like not the worst. Like they didn't draft a punter with one of their 5 picks or a kicker with one of their 5 picks. But yeah, let's head back over here. So yes, final grading for the East. We start off with the Cowboys. Cowboys with a solid A pick. I like what they did. It has a very good chance of panning out for them very well in the future. Now, that, of course, will depend on a lot of factors that are, will the Cowboys not be the Cowboys. Then we got the Giants with the first ever S draft class. I just really like it. They got the best player in the draft. They got, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in the draft in the first round. What did the Giants give up for it? New York Giants trade for, I think it was Dart. So the Giants, let's see. Giants received the 25th pick in exchange for the 34th, 99, and a 3rd round pick. So they didn't even give up a first for that pick. That is a master trade that's making this pick even better. Holy crap. Yes, they got Jackson Dart, they grabbed D. Lyman, they grabbed Cataboo, who I think is going to be a the steal in the 4th round, and they boasted their O line. So yeah, S rank draft. Eagles A. You know, they did a lot of the same things that kept getting them there. They drafted for need. I do think the 6th round quarterback was kind of questionable. The doubling up on offensive tackles when you're not the Cowboys, your line should come back and not drafting another receiver be there. And last but not least is the Commanders, who I gave a B. Not many picks. The last 2 picks I think were potentially best player available type thing, but didn't really fit their needs. But that's it. That's all I have. I'll see weird people later.